Happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Minecraft Disney World. Today we're taking a break from looking at the rides and we're going to actually take a look at one of the resorts here at Walt Disney World. And of course, we're going to be looking at the Contemporary Resort. Now, if you've ever been at Walt Disney World, you probably recognize it as a shaped hotel that the monorail actually rides through. It was made and opened in October 1st, 1971, the same day as at Disney World. It was created by U.S. Steel, and its most prominent features of the course, the fact that the monorail runs right through it. So guests at the Contemporary can actually hop on the monorail and go right to the Magic Kingdom. Or they can go to the Transportation Ticket Center, which will bring them to Epcot without ever having to step foot outside. So we've got the atrium. This is where the monorail track runs right through the monorail track. It's actually right up here somewhere and is in the atrium where we've got a couple of food. They've got a food court, there's a restaurant, Chef Mickey's, it's called A Couple, gift shops, and arcade. Pretty much everything you see in most of the hotels and resorts here in the Walt Disney World. Now, they do have elevators. They don't go by the ladder system, luckily, so this originally was going to be a resort hotel that was going to be managed by a company outside of Walt Disney. Back when the parks were being made, the idea was that they would get other companies to run the hotels. But the problem was, well, they were good at the hotel business. They didn't actually know how to run a business the Disney way, so eventually what Disney realized was it would actually be easier for them to learn how to run a hotel than to teach a hotel company how to run a company. The Disney way, that's what they did. They eventually bought out the remaining stake in the hotel and now is managed and owned by Disney. It actually just underwent a major renovation in 2005 that lasted around 4 years, in which they upgraded all the rooms because after all, this is called the Contemporary. And that's the use of having a contemporary resort if the rooms are antiquated. So they were all updated. They have modern, amenities things like that. Now what's interesting about the way the hotel was built was that it was supposed to be this great shining example of what was called modular construction, and the idea was they built a frame, and what they were gonna do was off-site build each room separately as a complete modular piece and then just slide it into a slot on the hotel. This actually ended up being way more troublesome than they expected, and was actually a shining example of why modular design doesn't work, and part of the reason was that it had to be very exact with it. For instance, if one of the rooms they built was just a foot or two off, it wouldn't fit into the slot they built, and that caused a lot of trouble for them. Another thing they didn't consider was the weight of the building. As a result, whatever they would put a new room in, they would have to switch the crane from one side of the hotel to the other so that there was an equal balance of weight throughout the construction period. As a result, they almost didn't get the building done in time. And there's actually stories of some of the exclusives at Walt Disney even pitching in a hand to the night before the park opened to make sure that this hotel was complete as possible. Now, one of the other aspects of the hotel that it's well known for its being a convention center. In fact, a lot of conventions in Florida are held on Walt Disney World property, and the Contemporary Resort is actually a popular resort for some of these conventions. There also where some speeches are held. In fact, one famous speech that took place there was a Richard Nixon's infamous "I'm not a crook" speech that was delivered at the ballroom here at the Contemporary in November of 1973. And at the very top of this hotel is the California Grill. It used to be called the Top of the World. It's a restaurant at the very top. It's got a great view of the Magic Kingdom, and if you can score some reservations, you can actually have dinner while happily ever after the fireworks show at Magic Kingdom is happening. And they actually pipe in the music from the Magic Kingdom to the hotel so you can listen to the firework music while you're eating. The resort also offers access to the box where you can sort of rent boats, and you could go parasailing, or you could just take a boat from one resort to the next. such as a quick look at the contemporary at Walt Disney World here at the Palace Network server, where you can go and see this total recreation of Disney World. I hope you enjoyed this video. Next week we're hopefully going to be checking out some more rides and looking at the history of some of the fun rides here at Walt Disney World. I hope you're having a fantastic week, whatever you're doing. Make the most of it, and I hope to see you guys all next week for the next episode of Minecraft Disney World. Bye everyone.